Very good morning, dear students. In the last class, we have been discussing about the first category of carbohydrates, that is monosaccharides. Then, as you all know, carbohydrates are classified into the next group is known as oligosaccharides. And one of the important types of simplest oligosaccharides are disaccharides. So the next topic mentioned in your syllabus, that is disaccharides. They have given brief account with the examples. And as an introduction, so oligosaccharides may be defined as these are one of the important classification of carbohydrates which comprises of 2 to 10 monosaccharide unit, and that is produced by hydrolysis. So oligosaccharides are the molecule that has 2 to 10 monosaccharide unit that is produced by hydrolysis. And the simplest types of oligosaccharides, if the oligosaccharide comprises of 2 monosaccharide unit which are connected by a strong bond called glycosidic bond. Okay, so that is known as disaccharides. So di means 2. Okay, so if 2 saccharide units are there which are connected by glycosidic linkages, such kind of saccharide units are known as disaccharides. So the most common oligosaccharides are found in the nature. Okay, the most common oligosaccharides are found in the nature, which are disaccharides. So these are the abundantly found oligosaccharides in the nature. And the major oligosaccharides are sucrose, lactose, maltose, cellobiose, trehalose, etc. So these are the major types of disaccharides, and all the following disaccharides which comprises of 2 monomeric units of monosaccharides. And the next one is the classification of disaccharides. So disaccharides are mainly classified into their property to reduce or non-reduce. Okay, so they have an end called reducing end or non-reducing end. So if the disaccharide has non-reducing end, so that is known as non-reducing disaccharides. Then if they have a reducing end, that is known as a reducing disaccharide. So non-reducing disaccharides are known as glycosyl glycosides. Okay, glycosyl glycosides. And the reducing disaccharides are known as glycosyl aldoses or glycosyl ketoses. Okay, so the reducing end is due to either aldoses, the presence of aldehyde group, or ketose, the presence of ketone group. And I told you disaccharides are comprised of the glycosidic linkage. So based on the which carbon atom in the monomeric units are participating in the glycosidic linkage formation, based on that aspects, the non-reducing disaccharides are classified into 2 groups. One is C1 to C1 glycosidic linkage and C1 to C2 glycosidic linkage. Okay, so if the glycosidic linkage formed between C1 of one particular sugar and sharing with the bond with another C1 of another particular sugar, second sugar. So an example is trehalose. Okay, then C1 to C2 in the first monosaccharides, the hydroxyl group that is attached with the C1 will be interacted with the hydroxyl group that is attached to the second monosaccharide unit. So there will be the formation of C1 C2 glycosidic bond. Okay, an example is sucrose. Okay, sucrose, we will see this kind of a linkage. Then The major cases, the reducing disaccharides are classified into two, group based on their glycosidic linkage. One is C1 to C4 glycosidic linkage, then C1 to C16 glycosidic linkage. Most of the glycosidic linkages are in this particular type. Okay, example is lactose, maltose, and cellobiose. Okay, so here the hydroxyl group that is attached with the C1 carbon atom of the monosaccharides will be interacted with the hydroxyl group that is present in the fourth carbon atom of the second monosaccharide residues. Okay, then there will be the formation of glycosidic linkage. Okay, in all those molecules the glycosidic linkages are found like this. Then the next one is C1 C16 glycosidic linkages. Okay, C1 C16 glycosidic linkage. Example, that means to say the hydroxyl group of one first carbon atom in the first molecule will be interacted with the CH2OH group that is present in the sixth carbon atom, and they will be form the glycosidic bond. Okay, that is known as C1 to C16 glycosidic linkage. Okay, example is gentibiose, mellibiose, isomaltose. So these are the classification of disaccharides. Then we will discuss four important types of disaccharides. Okay, so the first one is sucrose, the most common type of disaccharide. This is otherwise known as saccharose. Okay, and this is otherwise known as table sugar or cane sugar or beet sugar depending upon the source. Okay, so this is otherwise known as kitchen sugar. Okay, that is known as household sugar. Sucrose is commonly known as kitchen sugar or a household sugar, and that is commonly distributed in the photosynthetic plant, especially in sugar cane. That is why it is known as the cane sugar. Beet, okay, that is beet sugar. Maple, pineapple, carrot, nectars of the flower, etc. that is commonly present. And this is the only food stuff which is used as a crystalline form. Okay, only food stuff used in the crystalline form. Okay, so this is crystalline solid, okay, and which are soluble in water, and that has a melting point of 180 degree centigrade. So when this sucrose will be heated with the then what will happen is it produce a particular brown color to the food item, that is known as a caramel. Okay, the substance is known as a caramel and the process is known as a caramelization. This is one of the most important types of browning reaction that is happening in the food product. Okay, so food microbiology, this is very, very important. Okay, the presence of sucrose will give you the brown color when it is interacted with the when it is undergoing heating. Okay, then this is generally dextrorotatory and which has a specific rotatory power of 67.7 degree. Specific rotatory power of 67.7 degree. And this sugar generally is sweeter than glucose. This is one of the most sweetest sugar. Okay, and the monomeric unit are one glucose moiety and one fructose moiety, which are connected by glycosidic linkages are known as sucrose. Okay, so what will happen is generally upon hydrolysis, sucrose produce a mixture of glucose and fructose. That is why I told the monomeric units are glucose and fructose. So that is why this molecule is known as a invert sugar. So invert sugar is nothing but sucrose or a saccharose. Then this is the formation of a sucrose. Very simple. This is what the 6-membered ring glucose. Okay, here you can see position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Second one fructose. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the second position. Okay, so here you can see the hydroxyl group that is present in the second position of the second sugar and the hydroxyl group that is present in the second the first OH group, the hydroxyl group that is present in the first carbon atom of the glucose will be undergoing an interaction. Then what will happen? There will be removal of molecule of water will take place. So OH and 1H will be combined to form H2O. Then what will happen? Then the oxygen is remaining. That oxygen will be shared and connected to these two structure. Okay, the structure is like that, it is given, and the fructose part is like that, it is given. And okay, and both this, the OH is in the right hand side, hence it is alpha. So this bond is alpha 1,2 glycosidic linkages. Okay, then here you can see, then there is otherwise known as beta, sorry, or alpha D glycopyranosyl. So this is glucopyranoside, and 1,2 beta D fructopyranoside. Okay, beta D fructopyranoside. Okay, so that is the full name of sucrose. Okay, then there is an enzyme called sucrase or saccharase and fructosidase. Okay, so then this will happen, this will do the inversion of sucrose. So sucrose, that is why it is known as invert sugar. Okay, so the sucrose will be having a specific activity of 67.7 degree. This is a dextrorotatory. So when it is undergoing hydrolysis, then invertase enzyme. Okay, so this is otherwise known as invertase enzyme. So that enzyme will be gives 1 molecule of glucose. So you know that specific activity is so rotatory power 52.7. okay, plus 1 molecule of fructose. Okay, the specific rotatory power of fructose is minus 92 degree centigrade. This is dextrorotatory, and next one is levorotatory. Okay, so upon the hydrolysis, so this will give a dextrorotatory glucose and a levorotatory fructose. Okay, so that is the action of invertase or sucrase or saccharase or fructosidase enzymes. Okay, then the second one is the most common disaccharide unit is lactose. Okay, here you can see lactose is known as the major milk sugar, and this is generally animal origin. Sucrose is plant origin. Okay, so lactose is animal origin and it is found in the milk of mammals. Okay, and human milk contain 6 to 8% of lactose, and cow milk contain 4.8% of lactose. The best milk that is present in so much quantities of lactose is mother's milk. Okay, mother's milk is consisting of 1.5 times sweeter than cow milk. Okay, this is the sweeter than cow milk because the content is very high here. Okay, so it is a white crystalline solid which has a melting point of 203 degree centigrade. This has got the highest melting point. Okay, and this is dextrorotatory in nature. Okay, and the alpha and beta forms have a specific rotation of 90 and plus 90 and plus 35 respectively. Alpha has got a 90 and beta has got a beta form of lactose has got a 35 degrees the specific rotation, and it is less soluble in water and much less sweeter than the sucrose. Okay, this is not that much sweeter, but this is less soluble in water. Okay, and this is the isomers is less soluble than a beta form. So alpha isomers are less soluble than a beta isomers. Okay, then the monomeric unit is 1 molecule of glucose and 1 molecule of galactose. So lactose is a disaccharide consisting of glucose and galactose stabilized by glycosidic linkage. Okay, so this is the formation of lactose as we have seen. Okay, so here the lactose position number 1, here the hydroxyl group is the top side, that is beta. Okay, and here you can see this is galactose and this is glucose. Okay, so here I mean, this is galactose. The first position of galactose has a hydroxyl group, and the next position of the glucose has a the fourth position. First, second, third, and fourth position they have got a hydroxyl group. So what will happen? There will be a removal of water will takes place. Okay, H and OH. Then water will be takes place, and this will be writing like this. And what will happen? This is beta. So this will be producing a bond like this. Okay, this is beta configuration. Okay, this is beta, and here you can see glucose part, and that this is galactose part, and this is a glucose part. Okay, so so this is otherwise known as alpha D galactopyranosyl, 1,4,1 and 4 beta linkage beta D glucopyranose. Okay, so that is the name of glucose. Okay, then again there is an enzyme called a lactase. Okay, so how will you cleave lactose? By using enzyme called a lactase. So what will happen is once the hydrolysis with the lactase, what will happen is it will give a equal molar of glucose and galactose. Okay, the reverse reaction. And many adult human cannot digest milk. Okay, so what will happen is sometimes the human body cannot digest the milk because they lack this particular enzyme, intestinal lactase. Okay, and the lactase is the enzyme that hydrolyzes the lactase, and the lack of intestinal lactase, it will be giving a particular condition called lactose intolerant. Okay, you might have heard so many people, some people they will not be having an enzyme to degrade lactose, that thus it is lactose intolerant. Okay, so that is known as lactose intolerance. Then the next one is maltose. This is known as malt sugar. Maltose does not occur abundantly in nature. It is not found commonly. It is the major product of enzymatic hydrolysis of starch. Okay, how it is produced? It is produced from starch. Okay, the sprouting of cereal grains are rich in an enzyme called amylases, which split starch into dextrin and maltose. So starch present in the plant will be degraded hydrolytically by amylases, and which will give a short chain starch unit called dextrin and a disaccharide unit called maltose. Okay, and the malt that is prepared from sprouting barley is an excellent source of maltose, that commonly prepared from a sprouting barley, which is an excellent source of maltose. Okay, and maltose is also a white crystalline solid with a melting point of 160 to 165 degree centigrade. Okay, so it is soluble in water and it is dextro rotatory, and which will be having an ability to undergo the muta rotation with the plane polarized light. Okay, and the monomeric units, 2 units of glucose, maltose consisting of 2 units of glucose. Okay, and the maltose is the simplest of the disaccharide and is produced by the action of malt. Sometimes that is produced by the action of malt. Okay, that malt has got an enzyme called diastase or maltase. Okay, so that is the common reaction. Then here you can see the formation of the maltose, the chemical structure. This is glucose, it has got a position number 1. Okay, this is again another glucose, 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4th position. This is OH and this is also OH in the alpha position, and what you can see, this bond will be formed like this. Okay, so bond will be formed like this. So alpha D glucopyranosyl 1 4 beta D glucopyranoside. Okay, so that is this is glucopyranosyl glucopyranoside. Okay, so that is another important example. Then the action of enzyme, that is known as, I told you, maltase. So maltase or diastase, okay, which will be hydrolyzed 2 identical units of glucose by maltase enzyme found in the intestine. Okay, starch will be undergoing short chain dextrin and maltose. Okay, so the maltose will be cleaved this glucose residues by maltase. Okay, and this maltose is also hydrolyzed by another enzyme called diastase or amylase. I have told you, found in the sprouting barley. So this is the formation and degradation of maltose. Then the fourth example, well studied example, is another important disaccharide called cellobiose. Okay, so cellobiose commonly present in the nature, but it is only in the trace element. It's very small quantity it is present. Okay, it is not abundant. Okay, so it is released during the digestion of cellulose by cellulase enzyme by microorganism, especially bacteria and fungi. It is released during the digestion of cellulose by cellulase enzyme by microorganism. So cellobiose is a white crystalline solid with a melting point of 225 degree centigrade. Okay, so it has got a melting point of 225 degree centigrade. So it is soluble in water, and this is also dextra rotator. Okay, and this is also a reducing sugar which undergoes muta-rotation. Okay, this is a reducing sugar. Okay, then the monomeric units are two units of glucose. Okay, two glucose units. Okay, these are the monomeric unit. So as you can see here, this is the beta D glucose in the hydroxyl group in the top side, and this is again another beta D glucose. Okay, so what will happen there? As we have seen, the beta D glucose has a hydroxyl group at the carbon number 1 and above the ring. Okay, that is beta, and the bond is formed in the beta orientation. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, so here the bond is a formation of beta linkage. Okay, removal of water will take place. Beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage. Okay, beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage. Here you can see this is shown like this. Okay, or like this. Okay, so this is beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage. So beta D glucopyranosyl 1,4-beta D glucopyranosyl. So that is the name of cellobiose. Then there is another enzyme. How it will be clear? The reverse reaction using an enzyme called cellobiase. Okay, the action of enzyme, that is cellobiase. Okay, so here when hydrolyzed with a dilute acid or an enzyme called emulsin, okay, or cellobiase. Okay, this is not biose. Okay, cellobiase. Action of emulsin. Okay, then that case the cellobiose gives identical units of alpha D glucose. Okay, so one cellobiose cleaved hydrolytically by emulsin, then that it will give a glucose. Okay, and the enzyme emulsin split the beta glycosidic linkage. This linkage it will cleave. Okay, that is the formation of cellobiose. So these are the major types of disaccharides commonly found in the that is commonly have a biological or biochemistry importance. So we will conclude, dear students. So we have discussed what do you mean by oligosaccharides, the basics of oligosaccharides. One of the major types of oligosaccharide is disaccharides. Their major examples are sucrose, lactose, maltose, cellobiose, trehalose, mellibiose, okay, gentibiose, etc. Then the classification of disaccharide based on reducing and non-reducing. Okay, so then we have discussed 1,1 and 1,2. Okay, 1,4 and 1,6. Okay, the linkage, glycosidic linkage. Then we have discussed the sucrose, the formation of sucrose, the action of the enzyme invertase or sucrase or a saccharase. Then the lactose, what is the salient features of lactose, how the lactose will be produced, and what is the action of enzyme lactase. Okay, then next one, maltose, what is the general features of maltose, then how maltose will be produced, then what is the action of a maltase enzyme. Then cellobiose, how cellobiose will be produced, what are the characteristic features of cellobiose, how it will be produced, and what is the action of enzyme emulsin. Okay, so cellobiase. Okay, so these are the today's class. So as I discussed, these are the major textbook, especially Principles of Biochemistry by Leninger. It's one of the excellent book. These are the reference book you can see in the list. Thank you very much for watching this particular class. If you are having any clarification, you can mail me or you can ask me. Okay, so have a great time.